Rana with a Wraith Band, not going to be the best in that situation. Underlord also gets that one-on-one, but it can be a bit awkward for them to maybe try and aggro Wraith King into Razor. Might just dissuade it too much. But we'll see if they try and do some lane shenanigans. They're trying to get some first blood going.
Yeah, they're going to try. Let's see if they actually manage to connect or not.
Very early defensive from Chicken Fighters, though, and that's a free D ward.
30 seconds to battle.
All right, free D ward. Good start for CHILLAX. We should talk about the stakes coming into this series as the current setup is that Goon Squad are all but secured when it comes to their ascent to the upper division. As long as they win the matches that they absolutely should, no problem. First place. So, how the rest of the division plays out for this second slot to the upper division is CHILLAX is in a must-win scenario here against Chicken Fighters, and if they win this, Chicken Fighters in turn will be in a must-win scenario against Alliance, and that will, given the expected outcome of the other series that these teams still have to play, would be a three-way tiebreaker. So CHILLAX, if they manage to do it here, their fate is still not in their own hands. If Alliance manages to beat Chicken Fighters, then very likely Alliance will be that second team, but you just got to focus on the match at hand, right?
Exactly. Play the game in front of you, not the one down the road, which may not even exist in the same form.
Yeah.
And as we were talking about, CHILLAX was going for this aggro tri-lane to try and get that Underlord 1v1 versus a melee hero, where he would have been super happy. I think this Chaos Knight would have gotten destroyed, especially with the items. A lot of people are itemizing for these dual lanes. So if you're itemizing for the tri-lane, your enemy gets caught in a dual lane setup. It's already an advantage off the bat in terms of itemization, and Chicken Fighters, they're going to be running Supreme across the map here to try and get that lane matchup right.
And a nice game from Zibe, as he did, as you said, make that long run, and it caught CHILLAX by surprise, nets them the first blood.
That's the one thing you kind of don't want happening here in this lane dodge situation is you throw the early XP advantage you get by being on the lane faster back their way. That's really going to set back CHILLAX's early game. The one upside is this Razor Underlord matchup is not going to be as punishing when the Underlord's in his safe lane. Even if we just saw there, if you keep the lane back, you control the equilibrium. One, you can abuse the pulls, and two, that Link doesn't have nearly as far to chase you down the lane as he's going to have in his own safe lane, right? So it's a little more, you know, there's more wiggle room for this Abyssal Underlord to sneak out an early game here in a hard matchup.
But it does start becoming awkward if you don't have control of the pulls, right? Because Underlord just naturally pushes the lane in, whether through Firestorm or even just his presence with his high base damage.
But what if he plays unnaturally, Kevin?
Unnaturally?
These are some of the decisions that sometimes they work.
Just so like not Firestorming ever? Is that what you're saying?
We're going to see Jibe just getting the beat down here from Lion. But yeah, sometimes when you're in the safe lane, you switch these lanes up, you are a hero. Underlord, Sand King comes to mind. You have these innate lane shove mechanics. Sometimes shoving that out really bites you in the ass, and it's better to just play the lane directly, CS, control the pulls, save your mana for later, right?
Yeah.
These are some of the higher level decisions that can really make a big difference.
And you can see exactly how that matchup is playing out as the Ancient Apparition is desperately trying to get the hard camp pull off, but it doesn't actually come to be true. Meanwhile, the bottom lane that we were just watching is going to be a slugfest one way or the other. You see
Lodine TPing out.
Yeah, he's going to go for a TP out. He's going to just barely make it. So his quick reactions in TPing was very good. And the fact that he managed to get the pull off is a big save for the Underlord Proud.
Normally, but I think this is really going to destroy their lane. Because one, I think A is not a hero you can fall behind on levels on. This is a hero you need to be sapping, you need to be pulling. So this is going to put him back a decent amount. And on top of that, that pull was not amazing because CHILLAX gets to farm it, they get to pull it over, and now they'll get to hold the creep equilibrium here. We were talking about this Razor not having the ability to chase Thunderlord down. He now has a full double wave coming into him. He's going to hold it back. Dire's going to have to try and play for this pull, but
I'm a little bit surprised Onmi let the creep wave go into his tower in the first place because he also had a similar option of holding.
He should have held it there for sure, and this is really going to hurt his AA because now he has to fight for those pulls. And it's not the easiest fight for him, as we see. Death Prophet's fine to excel, already 2 points in the Siphon. This lane is not going well for Dire, I can tell you that. The one upside is Onmi is, he got a decent amount out of the early waves, but we see here, he's going to get full Link now.
And that is going to be very awkward. This Rage is just going to use that extra damage to deny, so.
Exactly, especially with the full lane control.
Yeah.
But you can check on some of the other lanes. I think Mars doing fine mid versus that. Melee hero in the Ember should get, you know, trade water runes at least at a minimum. So that's one thing. This mid Mars is a super susceptible hero in terms of the flow of his game, and he's going to TP for both water runes here. Cheeky move.
Yeah. Really nice play, right? For the 4-minute rune particularly, since both of them are at that kind of that tipping point where the lane matchup could go one way or the other based off of who gets level 6 now.
And he's going to try and force that 6 first, for
Yeah.
sure. Because now he has the region advantage. No bottle charges left for Coma. If he gets this arena on Mars, he could turn this into a level 6. And as I was mentioning, the flow for this hero out of mid is super vital.
Pleb throwing out the stun just out of fear that maybe next time was going to get comboed, but the Chaos Bolt not actually off cooldown just yet, so. See, top lane continues to be an annoyance for them. 5-up just menacing as much as possible. Coma is actually going to have to walk back to lane, accepting the fact that the Mars is going to be hitting level 6 first. So
I really want to see CHILLAX do something with this mid. If he needs the extra support, bring it. I think it's the most vital play on the map right now.
oh, maybe next time. He slips away into the trees and might be good here. The courier is going to die. Era is going to search for that 4 position. Won't be able to find him right away.
Might get a lane ward here if he wants to, yeah. Not the worst case scenario, but this line is not having the early game impact you want to be having from this position.
Chase down underneath the tower by 5-up. Again, the Spirit Siphons. It's not like Owned Me can really challenge the Death Prophet too much. He just is representing a big target for him to lifesteal off of, so.
Ember got his 6 mid, so they didn't get to abuse the small window MTD created, which is unfortunate, because I think both side lanes are... They're getting rough for CHILLAX here. So it's what impact is A line going to have?
Ooh, they tried to sneak a fast kill onto the Ember Spirit with that cold feet, but fortunately, he was fast enough, was able to jump to his remnant.
I don't even think he dies there, to be honest. It's level 2 AA. He had stick charges, he had Fairy Fire.
Yeah, that's true.
Some decent rune denial, but Illusion Rune wasn't going to be the strongest either way. This early game is getting spooky for CHILLAX here. Especially this top lane where there's a catapult. Own Me just getting run down with the double links.
Bottom lane's not faring that much better either, as this Chaos Knight continues to try and pressure the Wraith King. Top lane, they do actually run down the Underlord of all heroes, so even that big tanky core is susceptible to the kill threat that 5-up and Supreme are able to just continually pressure.
And maybe this is where that arena could save this tower, but again, that missed kill mid really punishing them now, giving Ember time to catch up. MTD forced the base. All your coins, so to say, in on this bottom lane, trying to get this CK kill. Not even going to happen.
Chicken Fighters are just tearing this first game up, man. This laning phase is absolutely horrible, and you have to wonder who on CHILLAX was really making that call for this lane setup, because it is just not working for them whatsoever. Era with the double kill so far. We heard earlier our panel talk about how his performance has been a highlight for Chicken Fighters this season.
I would tend to agree. And, I mean, they're just winning the 2v3 down here. So this is a disaster of an early game for CHILLAX. And this is where these tri-lane and lane decisions, they really come down to execution. You can look at it and go, oh, maybe there were some small hero things that mattered, but
yeah,
those early lane equilibriums are what's going to decide these two side lanes, and I feel like they didn't win either. This top lane got really pushed out fast for the Underlord, super disadvantageous because A cannot fight DP on the side, and it feels like this tri-lane bottom did not get their lane back fast enough. We'll see Era just wasting even more time from this Mars. Doesn't want to use Arena on a bottom, but at the same time, is he going to get more value out of it? He's the one hero CHILLAX can fight around to make something happen.
Now, this mid-Mars, it used to be a common counterpick to Ember Spirit a couple patches ago, and they would always go Yule Scepter because they would Yule's the Ember, and then that would be an easy setup for Arena Spear. I haven't seen that in a long time, even with some of the mid-Mars that we have been seeing. Do you think that's an option, or are we just going to keep going the physical damage route?
I just haven't seen that build in so long. I doubt we're going to see it. Just more support feeding. Honestly, I haven't been a big fan of mid-Mars this patch. I think there's a couple games that can look good, and This is another kill they have to be able to convert on this.
They're going to be able to hit the Hex and the Impale, but the damage, it's not looking great for them. This light goes out. He actually got drained out of much of his mana.
They have a Sentry.
The Sentry, the Spear will connect, and Coma does end up going down. So at least CHILLAX is able to get that one kill, the only kill they've gotten so far in this game 1.
Coma had Stick Bottle. I'm not even sure he should theoretically die there after that Hex comes out, but
yeah,
maybe just not planning on the Sentry placement. Still, every one of these arenas, it feels like every arena has to connect in something good for them. We'll see. Just relying on that Invis to not see the Sentry in.
Yeah, he really thought that Invis was going to be his way out. But even then, I mean, the Spear.
He can... Yeah, it's close. It would have been close. They might have got him. But like you're saying, these kills are great. They're keeping you in the game. But at the same time, your top tower's already down. This Supreme Razor's invading your jungle. Only is not having fun in this one.
No, he's certainly not. And I have to imagine he had some sort of voice on what his hero was going to be. So that's always, I was just talking to Stormstormer in that interview, and he described their offlaner Toby as being like, he is a great last pick player because he will give you something that he can win the game with. And whenever you do have a last pick like this, like surely the person who's playing it has got to have a voice in it. It's got to be pretty demoralizing to be losing your lane this hard on your choice.
That can definitely be true. I think different teams have different philosophies on that last pick and how much it's supposed to do relative to the rest of the draft.
Okay.
I remember Peter back in the day would always say if your last pick loses its lane, it was a bad pick. He was very, very strong on that idea. And that can vary nowadays, but in general, I would tend to still lean towards this last pick needs to... It's like the heart of your draft in a lot of games. It's the pick that's getting the most information, the most value. Sometimes a lot gets banned and your options aren't good, but this is a game where they opted for the Underlord over something more conservative. And he can do a lot of work in that mid game, but not if they're this far behind. Now your tier 1 offlane's getting pressured. This is where another arena rotation has to connect here for CHILLAX.
See if they can connect, as MTD is smoked up right now. They're going to try and catch up to Zibe, but the arena, it's barely going to be on the mark. He was just centimeters, inches, whatever measurement you want to go for of being able to get to the other side of that arena wall. 5UP did use the rest of the exorcism to pressure mid tower, which was kind of a cool play.
Yeah, nice value. We saw Underlord, he rifted there too. So making good use of this newer ult, which is almost like a relocate nowadays. I think players are going to have to switch their mentality a little bit in terms of what the spell can do. It's not entirely used to it yet, and it's a very powerful spell.
This is an awkward situation.
Very awkward.
He can level up the reincarnation, but the question is, are you just going to die a second time? The rest of the team is coming in to bail him out, but Supreme still has plenty of damage. The arrow's going to be on point, but Supreme needs to get out of here. The arrow is actually going to catch Zibe instead. Nice two-man Pit of Malice, but they don't really have much left in the tank here.
He's just going to get frozen.
Supreme, he is going to be frozen on top of this Pit of Malice, and they're going to lay into him. They get that kill, traded out for MTD, but now the Ember Spirit starts coming in on the other side, and Lil Pleb only has this one life to work with. He commits to get the kill on Zibe. They do manage to get it, but they're trading away so much. It's going to be 4 people dying as long as... Yeah, Lodine, he's not making it out of here. So 4 dead on the side of CHILLAX, and Chicken Fighters only losing their 2 cores. So the supports being big winners. That, of course, this Coma Ember Spirit.
Definitely Coma coming out of that fight. Already almost completes the Maelstrom there. Gets to reap all that extra XP at the end off the back of his 2 other cores going down. This Razor's a huge kill, and it's definitely going to make that fight at least even, maybe even slightly worth it considering their position. Even though they lose 4 for 2, they got the 2 biggest kills on the map, feels like. So definitely a little bit of a comeback. And again, the extra XP for these CHILLAX supports is just so insanely vital. We finally have this AA ult online. There's pretty much nowhere else he's going to get at this game. So even though it's kind of a lost fight, it's still going to unlock some potential here for CHILLAX. Now it's a question of can they use it before this Razor gets to a very early BKB. Because there is nothing that's going to stop him during that 9-second golden hour, so to say.
Pretty interesting that Chicken Fighters, they have Coma playing this Ember Spirit, so we're going to watch a little pleb die a second time. He doesn't have Reincarnation.
No ult for you.
It was a level 1 Reincarnation, which is great to be able to take away. The cooldown is so long that you can very easily find him again with a smoke gank like that. Chicken Fighters show exactly how to be able to play against that Wraith King, but
Dire's top tower is under
talking about Coma, like he has actually not played this Ember Spirit since professionally since 2020. Obviously being primarily a carry player, and Ember Spirit safe lane being on and off meta. Has some experience with it in pubs and professional matches, but it has been a bit. Coma is going to be able to get away from the arena. Another arena that misses SVG. You said every single one of them.
And that's the blink smoke, so that's a huge reveal timing. They're going to get maybe punished on the back end too.
Oh, they certainly are. It's going to be loading, going down first. Big crit from Zibe. Gets that kill and also picks up the blink dagger at the same time.
Need a quick pause here. Evaluate the situation.
Well, I feel like evaluation's going to be pretty favorable for Chicken Fighters right now. They're up 4K net worth, and yes, that's a classic.
Yes, that's a very classic problem. I've had that happen many times, you know.
You show up to a LAN event and the keyboard's in some language, and you're trying to figure out how to change the settings, but it's all in a different language.
He was
you
trying
don't understand.
He was trying to flame his team, and they weren't getting upset, so you realized they're not understanding me properly. Need to fix that.
True.
Now, there's a lot of multicultural, multi-language players in Dota, you know?
Yeah, that's
especially
true.
with the advent of chat wheels. You gotta learn some of those spicy words, right?
That's true.
You gotta know what you're throwing out there.
What's the...
Or you don't, I don't know.
What's the flamiest chat wheel line that you use?
I was not a big chat wheel flamer. I just typed it out, you know, if I had to say something.
You
got it post-game.
I got something to say, you're going to get the full meaning of it.
Exactly.
Is that what
I don't need memes to tell you that one. See, MNT setting up bottom for this Ember. This is a good setup here.
Oh, no! He jumped away right as that
the BM pause.
FPS.
Of course. CHILLAX wishing they could take back a couple of those frames. Can't be too patient in Dota. I feel like they needed to go at least a second earlier. Because this Mars TP's coming in, but you have the pit into the stun, into the Hex. It's a huge amount of disable time.
It would have been a lot, but he had Flame Guard up. Do you think they could actually fight through that Flame Guard?
Atos too. I think he's going down.
Yeah. I mean, he would be in that Pit of Malice for so long.
Yes. I think this was just a slow go regardless. Because you're not going to have Forever versus Ember anyway, right?
Yeah.
And I understand they're timing it with that creep death, so this is just maybe a nice dodge, but every little second in Dota counts, especially for these finger kills. This is a hero you need to be getting these off CD, ideally, so you can start adding up that bonus damage. Because, I mean, this is why you pick Lion, right?
True.
Get that large finger so you can KS those kills from your cores later.
Yeah. Get a Aghanim Scepter at some point in time. Don't worry, guys, on 1v5.
I feel like people just pick this hero because they like all the immortals on him, honestly.
That's true. And they're all different colors, too.
Taste the rainbow.
Yeah, exactly.
Lionize the rainbow.
Little Skittles action in there.
Don't copyright claim me. Sorry.
It's too late. You forgot about our candy sponsor, SVG. What have you done?
The apology to Mars.
13-4, 5,000 net worth lead for 5 up, and I swear,
He has a shard already.
this Death Prophet 5 position, it just, I always question when people give this one away. I feel like it's just so impactful.
I mean, when the 5 DP solo kills your counterpick 5 AA without him getting a spell off, yeah, this hero can do some work. That is an early shard pickup, though. We don't see it a lot. Usually you're going to go Glimmer or Ghost or force something more defensive. This is a very offensive option, but this shard's really annoying. It's just a free disable, right?
Yeah.
3 seconds fear is no joke. They're going to dive here.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Maybe next time was holding it in the trees this entire time and does manage to interrupt Zibe, but it doesn't matter. The Underlord's certainly dead. An Ancient Apparition. Loading, probably regretting completing that teleport, hoping he doesn't get found like his fellow support, and maybe next time he gets run down into the tier 3s. Now AD is showing up and instantly dies.
What is happening?
And CHILLAX is falling apart. That's what's happening.
DD on Coma.
He's not going to make it out. He could have stayed hidden in those trees. You should have listened to HYHY.
Oh, that's an old meme right there. Going back years, but yeah. I must agree, this is not the fight you want to be taking after your Underlord already drops like that. Again, going back to this is your last pick, this is your bread and butter. This ATOS timing on this hero, if he goes down, it's just so much control and AoE lost in the fight. Even then, this early Razor BKB is, it's going to be hard to contest if he has a free link on your Mars or your Underlord to start it off.
Yeah. Ace Rune, they have full control of the power runes, and I feel like Ember Spirit's the worst hero to give all that free space to in that regard, right?
He's
I feel
gotta
like
be up there.
Yeah, he uses power runes so well.
He is definitely one of the largest power rune abusers of this patch for sure. Almost every rune is good on this hero.
Yeah.
You could argue regen so compared to a Storm or something, but
Sure.
even then, just being able to farm up and stay out on the map is insanely good for this hero. That is the downside of some of these mid matchups later in the mid game. This Mars, for example, he's okay contesting these runes when his ult's up and he has heroes behind him, but this Ember's not really afraid of doing it in the one-on-one scenario at all.
Yeah.
Mars is just low damage at this point versus the Ember. He has free reign.
And we saw it early on in the laning phase where he was able to, play for both runes at once, which did secure him several different power runes as a result. Spirit on one side, his hero on the other. Looks like Chicken Fighters are gonna go ahead and commit for a Roshan here that will not be contested by CHILLAX.
The upside is CHILLAX gets to farm a little bit more for their next set of items.
Downside is Lodian's gonna die trying to D-ward.
Yeah, this is a sad AA game. He is 0-9. About half his team's death. It's what happens when you have no lane with this hero. This is not one of the supports you want to end up with no lane.
It's about that time where you just decide to sit in your fountain the entire game and
It's level 6 cap.
just hope for those big ice blasts,
It's level 6. The lowest level on Chicken Fighters is 11 on Era. So this is not...
Hey, a little pleb got it with the skeleton revive.
Oh,
I'd say good job, but he had no control over that whatsoever.
Hey, you never know. Sometimes these Wraith Kings,
Yeah.
they have that skeleton telepathy.
Okay.
Nice harass here, but...
Really good harass. Too bad harass is all it is. You'd love to see an actual kill.
Lodine's getting gone on again for the same Observer Ward.
And
Number 10 right there.
Close
Gotta
in.
hurt.
Death number 10. Hey, you know what? He's making the rest of the team feel good. He's saying, like, don't worry. They have 20 kills. Shout out to 420. But,
We take me out of the
half
equation.
those. Yeah, it's like, whatever. I'm just an ancient apparition. I'm still going to do my job with an ice blast here or there.
There's some truth to it. The unfortunate downside is, these Chicken Fighter supports are pretty far ahead in terms of their net worth and their impact. Already a Lotus up on Era. That's really nice this game in terms of getting his cores out of the pit. Out defensive against the Lion Stun's not going to help him here, though. They're under an Observer.
Very nice ward. Let's see if they can actually hold this this ward up, though. See if they can actually protect this area. Nice dominating streak being taken away. So a bit of gold, bit of experience. And now they have the Desto complete on the Wraith King, so fast kills are possible.
This is a decent timing for CHILLAX. They're still behind in this game, but if Chicken Fighters overextend in a fight and their BKBs go down, these AoE spells are gonna kick in for them in terms of getting stuck in the pit, the Firestorm, Lion spells if he's still up, the AA spells, they're low level, but they can still do some work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of AoE control and kind of gunk that Razor and CK are gonna have to fight through once those BKBs are down. The downside is they get the kills while the BKBs are up. There's not a lot of counterplay.
He can still catch him. MTD is going to be forced into BKB usage, and Lodian it was like, I'm helping. Not really. He just dies where MTD was perfectly fine and loses his courier.
And another double damage for Coma. Still ages for 2 minutes as well. Exorcism back up. This is definitely time to ramp up the map control. They're doing a decent job of it, but this Pleb Wraith King still eking out some farm on the side lanes.
Yeah. as is MTD.
Is under attack.
Problem's going to be as soon double BKBs are going to be completed. Razor already has his, but the Ember and Chaos Knight will soon have theirs, in which case his build doesn't do anything.
Which build?
The
There's a couple builds here that might not.
Pit of Malice into Rod of Atos.
Yes, this is the downside of this particular build.
Yeah.
A lot of net worth goes away during that time.
Oh,
and if you get
no,
arrow,
he's getting chain stun. That means no BKB usage, and while the Ice Blast lands onto the Chaos Knight, does some damage, he walks away, and the rest of CHILLAX gets swept up by the storm of Chicken Fighter heroes. They just run past the tier 2, take a team fight, take a tower.
that's where you're talking. If these fights happen fast during that BKB duration, I don't think it's going to be close.
Middle tower has fallen.
Yeah.
They don't really have the defensive items to prolong the fight. No Force Staffs out yet. No Lotuses of their own or Glimmers. The two CHILLAX supports, you know, they're on some welfare this game. It's not going to be easy for them to get those defensive items, especially when Lion, you pick this hero to get that blink timing and be the pickoff hero, but at the same time, there's not a lot of map to play with for him to use it, so maybe just going that Force Staff would have been better, this option, and try and play for those elongated fights. Help your cores out. They really need the help this game.
Not to open too spicy of a subject, Whip, where do you stand on the topic of welfare? In Dota.
I was about to say, wow, you were just opening a whole can of worms
He
there.
got a
with
look
that
on
one.
his face like, what the hell? Wait, we are? Maybe? Zibe? He's blocked in. Nice kill. Maybe they can actually get more here with the Ice Blast on
Get
to
your
5
welfare
up.
out of here. This is time to lift yourself up by the Mars bootstraps. Create your own prosperity cap. That's where I stand.
Well,
Don't assume that's my political values. I'm just saying that for this particular game.
I was just curious, as you know, you're a support player, right? It's like, I've heard some talk, was that PPD quote recently where he was like, or was it PPD? No, maybe it was Seb, or No Tail. No Tail.
It's a good link, though.
But, oh, run.
Rift.
Oh, wait, they're turning.
They can chain
got the
stun it.
spear. Oh, the chain stun is going to be enough. They got the kill on the Racer.
Lotus for
CHILLAX,
what?
They're turning this game around. Chicken Fighters in their hubris thought that the Fat Cats could just keep on rolling through, bully out the little guy, but CHILLAX are showing their strength in numbers, SVG.
Strength and fighting on the best part of the map for them, which is around this bottom observer in the corner of the map on one of the sides of the lanes. Pretty much the lowest value Chicken Fighters can go down there and just chain feeding kills off of it. This is one of the best ways to come back in Dota. Force your opponents into a part of the map that is severely disadvantageous for them. Part of it's CHILLAX making a really good comeback maneuver. Part of it is, I think Chicken Fighters just not playing to the strength of where their heroes want to be positioned and what they want to be doing. Getting baited in a little bit.
Yeah.
At the same time, maybe those CHILLAX cores heard you talking about welfare and said, you don't need that.
Don't need your handouts.
I mean, you're talking about Philosopher's Stone, right? That's where this argument was originally going.
No, I was talking about, I think No Tail said he didn't like supports being like guaranteed level 6 and 10. There's also the fact that supports get access. Like, you get talents and neutral items and all these sorts of things. Basically, supports are given a more powerful position in the game than ever before.
As a support player, you know,
You're down with it?
I'm down with it.
Alright.
Why not, right?
I'm also down with it too. I'm a support player as well. This opportunity for turnaround, MTD was able to make the chain stun off of that impale.
Just, this is where you have to be careful with these BKBs. If the Razor does get jumped this game, there are no saves. Which was that a reference to?
I mean, it was Chicken Fighters. That was, he
Chicken
served up
wings?
some fried chicken right there.
All right.
Cook them up, fry them up, batter. All good enough for CHILLAX for a healthy meal. Maybe not so healthy, but Zibe is going to get his revenge. Time for the
have it
chickens
both,
to fight
but-
back and kill this Wraith King once, maybe twice.
The Rift.
The Rift is here, but Wraith King dies so damn quickly to this Chaos Knight.
Just summon the Rift didn't go through. It's like, don't worry, buddy. If you get to it, you can get out.
Okay, this is going to be a nice kill, but they need to get it quickly and get out because the Razor, he's TPing in. It's a long
Boba's looking
TP.
too.
They will manage to slip away before anybody's caught.
CHILLAX is pulling this game back. They are scrapping out some more net worth on the map. This Mars is keeping up. MTD are not the easiest hero sometimes to keep up with when you're the one playmaker for so long, but he's done a decent job. And now, again, MNT bottom playing around this ward that has done so much work for them. He's pinging it again. They can get these side lane setups. That's where their lineup excels.
Yeah, absolutely.
And at the same time, that's where Chicken Fighters have to think about who they're showing where. They're baiting people if they want to play for the turnaround. They have this refresher BKB on Supreme, but it doesn't feel like they've been able to put it to use.
Uh-oh. Wake up, MNT! Wake up!
He's been found.
Yeah, I always feel like those range creeps have better vision than the melee ones. Wait a minute.
It's because they eat
Something's not right.
They eat more carrots.
Ah, that's a good point. Be sure to eat your veggies, everyone, particularly carrots for your eye health.
Don't you read Dota lore, Cap?
Oh, wait, is that in the Dota lore? The power of carrots?
It lists every creep's diet.
Is that where superior night vision comes on Sniper? He just had a lot of carrot juice maybe as a kid.
I mean, that's also where, there's tomatoes and potato ores.
It's true.
Not a coincidence. So you thought I was just making this up, but it's actually Val's philosophy.
Importance of
Double
energy.
chains.
Double chains into an arrow. Easy pick off there. Uh-oh. A Wraith King. He doesn't have reincarnation. Not that it probably would have helped him. He probably was in a situation he would just die twice again anyway.
So Chicken Fighters, they had enough of feeding kills on these side lanes, taking back control of the map now. Gem picked up on Era, so he's going to get rid of all this nasty vision. This will likely secure that next Roche for them too. Really hard to contest that without the vision. Rift somewhere.
All right, they're going to try for the pickoff in the side lanes. Problem's going to be... Oh, actually, they know his BKB is on cooldown, right? They saw that earlier. Too bad, though, that Como once again plays it very safe.
This is a kind of cool use of the Rift. We haven't seen it. Oh, ran out here, so he's stuck, but it's a cool idea, right? Of kind of using this Rift like IO to play the map better.
Yeah.
Bring other heroes with you. It does lower cooldown over time, so once you get to level 3, 100 seconds, you can bring 2, 3, 4 heroes to one of these Lion ganks or one of these setups. It's not something that's that easy to expect if you haven't played Versus a lot. And that's something that can give you the numbers advantage, which when you're in a game that's a behind position, numbers are one of the best way to come back. So it is an interesting way this hero's changed.
Aghanims and Shard going to be drawn for Chicken Fighters. Who needs the Shard in this game? Give it Ember?
The Ember one's pretty good, yeah. Wait, you were saying... Yeah, not Aghanims. I was about to say. That was early, but... Yeah, that Aghanim Shard always gets me when people say that.
Yeah.
But that's a decent pickup for this Ember. It's a lot of extra net worth in the fight. And that Aegis on Supreme is just going to be a monster to deal with. He's fully kitted out. He just went blink. He's done messing around. I'm going to blink in there. Somebody's getting linked. And I'm bringing you down with me.
With that AC, he will be incredibly tanky if he completes it. But for now, they're going to go for the smoke without waiting for that item. With the second life on the Razor, they're feeling pretty good. Now, you could see CHILLAX. They're trying to play on top of their vision right now. They're just kind of like stacked up in an area. And they break apart that stack, perhaps, right at the wrong moment here. Chicken Fighters show up now. They spot him, but maybe it's a bit too late. As immediately the blink forward is going to be able to find the opening onto Baby next time. The Finger does nothing, and it looks like Own Me, he's not going to do anything either. The blink dagger pays off big time for the Razor as he managed to secure 2 kills with that play.
DP has Nether Shawl and a Glimmer. Passive 55 resist. Finger was just a tickle.
They do manage to spear him to the tower, though.
All right.
Getting a drop in armor. Tower helps out there. Supreme.
Pleb is in deep, though.
Yeah, Pleb is in pretty deep. He does have BKB, though. So he's just going to go for the TP out, no problem.
Not the worst, I guess, to pick off the DP on the back of that, since it's basically already a lost engagement. They might get this D-Ward, too. That would be really nice.
They get it and get out. This time Lodine does not die for the ward.
Yeah, this is one of the rare occurrences. Did get up to a Glimmer Cape, though, so...
Hey.
Making the comeback, the dream.
And he bought a gem. Not for himself, of course, because he has died a billion times, but for somebody else on his team to carry.
Did he? Wait, where's Jim?
It's on MVP.
Oh, yeah. All right, so Yeah, that is quite the number. Above the statistical average.
Damn, production, you need to call that man out like that.
I like
That
how the bar is green. It's like a good number, you know?
Ding, 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 ding. Congratulations. Hey, you know what? He spent the most gold. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, that's the number that matters the most, right? He was the most sacrificial. He spent the most gold on support items.
I think Puppy would disagree with that one, but...
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
What has he done? Been to a few TIs.
I'll let you take that one up with him. This is the game. There's not a lot he can do, right? After that early lane, I mean, you can play the early lane better. That would have helped, but
sure,
outside of the early lane execution, this is not a hero who functions well on the map from a behind position. You're going to be low level. You can't clear camps. You can't clear waves. Maybe you just rush the shard and split push, but I might find this bottom. She has a gem.
It would have been a really nice kill, but sadly, the Ice Blast wasn't there. The spear, the spearhead was on top of the Marauder, but he didn't quite get it. And I think the Wraith King is just dead twice. I'm not even sure if he could BKB teleport out. That physical damage just wastes him so damn fast.
That's not even close. Cannot fight. It's double Eye of the Storm, double Link. You saw that pipe. Fully picked a pipe on Era.
Wow.
Kind of an unconventional item, but I can respect that this game. A lot of that magic damage from their two supports is going to get heavily negated.
Look at Supreme just diving in. Koma's right there next to him because he just finished an Aghanim Scepter, so he is immediately going to be able to put it to use to get the pick off on the support. Looks like the other one's going to die right next to him, inside of the fountain, in fact. Zibe barely survives and then immediately dies, as sadly he did what he could there, but the arena and the Mars was going to be enough to get that one kill. Either way, Chicken Fighters probably going to close out the game here, or at least get a significant lead.
This is looking like the death knell. I don't think you're coming back from this one. There's some nice comeback plays in terms of using that map presence and baiting Chicken Fighters into bad parts of the map, but when it comes down to these 5-on-5s, especially with the Aegis still up on this Razor, he just felt untouchable this game.
Ice Blast, no damage to follow it up. I don't think they got the rod out in time. Oh no, the arrow.
5 seconds.
It was aimed for the Ancient Apparition.
All right, no Razor BKB though.
Spear back, great kill. And they wait out the Aegis. Well done by CHILLAX. That was actually a monster pickup for them. That actually keeps them somewhat alive, albeit limping, almost near a coma, but they are alive.
Maybe you're supposed to kill him with that Aegis, so it respawns, and it buys time for your line come in and get that finger charge.
Yeah.
That's the 300
I see. I thought you were going to say delay his death even longer.
Well, that's also
so then you could play the map more, but
either way, nicely done to get something off the back end of that Raxing. 60 seconds, no Razor. They're trying to make something happen off it.
They won't be able to find anything immediately, but any pickoff in the next 30 seconds, CHILLAX could start building up a bit of momentum.
They're going to jump if someone shows mid here. Might even try and jump December.
Ember Spirit would be a hard one, and Koma's been very conservative with where he shows. Like, whenever he shows on somewhere in a lane, he immediately jumps to a Spirit afterwards to make sure he doesn't get caught. A double damage in the bottom lane, so if they bottle that, they may still have the opportunity to take fights even if the Razor comes back, but Lodine will not be joining them in that fight as he is dead for 45 seconds.
Still 10 with no Razor, but this window is dipping. They do have some items to help combat him. Lotus finished on Own Me and this Force Staff on maybe next time. These are the biggest items in helping their cores combat this Razor Link. Kite out the fight, maybe return the Link, be able to take that extended combat situation. But it's also a question of Supreme just blinks in BKBs and links somebody. Do you have the time to react? And even if you force someone out, you get chased down anyway.
Yeah.
At some point, you have to be able to stand your ground. I just don't think the items are there yet.
Especially now with the Shiva's MTD. Ooh, he broke a smoke, but the rest of the team...
The Underlord.
Oh no, they started the Underlord. Oh, me just let him right to MNT. Now maybe next time was able to blink into the trees, and it looks like he will get out, as they thought he'd blink to the right. Yo, but they got the scan. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh bother.
Just doesn't want to leave this part of the map because he's pretty much useless in base anyway.
Yeah.
So I can understand it, but nowhere to hide.
Certainly not.
Yeah, that full Shiva's on Coma. Ember's the biggest problem now too. Fully stacked out, level 25.
Yeah,
Infinite
with
Remnant.
the 25 talent and the Aghanim Scepter and the Shivas, he can go, go, go.
Go time indeed. Gonna need one hell of an AA blast, that's all I can say.
Yeah, let's see if they can get it. They don't really have a way to... Oh, no. Supreme. He got off the BKB before the stuns could come in. And now that arena is not going to do much. At the same time, as Supreme doesn't get a kill out of it, well, he kills the Ancient Apparition pretty quickly. And the rest of his team, they'll clean up MTD. So, Mars is dead. He's dead for 2 minutes, in fact. So, an opportunity for Chicken Fighters to force the rest of this as the chickens are back.
Can try and blow up this Razor, maybe.
Yeah, they could try.
No BKBs on him.
Tried before, but as you said, no BKB
Ember
this
got
time around. Ember got hexed. Ember got fingered. Ember is still alive, though. And now Ember is going to get his revenge as maybe next time tries to crawl back to the safety. The fountain doesn't make it, and neither will Lil Pleb. Well, maybe Lion went to hell and back again just to call GG. Doesn't even try and play out that second life. And I think that's fair enough. I mean, they did what they could. They really